Welcome to IMCAS TV 10 Minutes with IMCAS Tribune. And I'm delighted to introduce Laurent Bronez, who is one of the coordinators of the IMCAS Tribune 2013. The Tribune collects and analyzes data trends and that are available on the medical and surgical aesthetics industry. This year's Tribune has undergone an exhaustive and very comprehensive analysis on different markets: Europe, the United States, Asia, Latin America, between 2011 and 2017. I do have a copy. And there are 4 principal market segments that you covered: toxins and fillers, cosmetics, low-energy devices and body remodeling devices, and breast implants. Laurent, what is the mythology of the IMCAS Tribune, and what makes it so exclusive?
Okay, Pamela, it's a very good question. First, thank you for welcoming me over here. Yes, it's a difficult work that we're trying to do here and achieve at IMCAS in order to gather as much data as we can, and then give precise data for all the industry that is being used during the year. So the way we are conducting this is that first of all, we use the data which is being supplied by market survey companies like Millennium Research Group or Miniuse, the company run by Mike Moretti.
Yes.
But we also look to public data. And the data which is being officially released by public companies, the one which are quoted. Companies like Allergan, Cineron, who are public companies quoted in the US. We have access to this information. So we are, crossing all this information, comparing, and it helps us then, assess and evaluate the market.
With all the factors necessary. It's truly very complete, exhaustive, and
It is truly exhaustive. You can always improve, and IMCAS is all about improving those processes. And I think every year we're making progress. But I think the data we have this year is quite accurate.
Yes, and if you could just give us the top 5 in the hit parade of cosmetic procedures.
So non-surgical.
Non-surgical.
Okay, so the top. There was a very interesting survey published mid-January by the ISAPS, International Society of Aesthetic Plastic Surgeons, and this survey, is showing that the first treatment being performed worldwide.
Let me guess. Botox.
Botox, exactly. Well, you should not say Botox because Botox is, as we say in French, is the Frigidaire name.
Right.
It's not Botox, it's botulinum toxin. And inside of that, of course, you have Botox, you have Azalure, Dysport, and Xeomin, the product from Merck, which is followed, of course, by which one? The dermal fillers. Exactly. Okay, followed then by laser removal, fat injection, and laser treatment IPL.
And top 5 plastic surgery procedures.
Okay, again, a very interesting question. First procedure is liposuction. And as you may know, this was invented by a French guy, so we're quite proud. Followed by breast augmentations, blepharoplasty, abdominoplasty, and the 5th one being rhinoplasty.
Invented in France 100 years ago. The first rhinoplasty was done in France 100 years ago.
Well, I didn't know that. Interesting.
And despite the tough economic climate and the new VAT in Europe, which we spoke about earlier, are you seeing growth or are we facing a crisis?
Okay, growth is slowing here in Europe. And,
it's slowing down.
And that is a problem because a lot of countries, specifically in South Europe, are affected by the economical climate. So there is no question about that. And we're seeing a growth around 6% for the upcoming years in Europe. And the recovery will depend, of course, on how fast the economies will be recovering for the actual situation. Yeah.
You went all the way up to 2017 in this.
We went all the way up to 2017, and the big effect that we will see in 2017, we think that Asia will overpass Europe in regard to its market size.
And do you feel that Europe and the United States differ in the data and in the statistics, or are they pretty close?
If you compare it to the US, you mean?
Yes.
Americas in general are different from Europe. Americas will go at a higher level, around plus 10% in upcoming years. That is the situation.
And the emerging markets, you spoke about China, South America, India.
South America will, has high demand at the moment and will continue because the economies are going well. The GDP is expected to be in 2013 at more than plus 3%. So that certainly has an effect because the people have more money, to be able to afford those kind of treatments. So certainly, emerging markets in South America, but also in developing countries in Asia, like India, China, will have also an effect on the growth of this market.
And investing. Let's talk about investing in this market. It seems all of your data is pointing up.
Yeah, it's pointing up. I mean, you see, regarding merger and acquisitions, you see very good deals which have happened. One of the last one happened in the US with the acquisition of Medicis by Valeant. But I'm sure there'll be others, and we were lucky to have a very nice lecture made by Jean-Yves Coste from Michel Dines Banking, who showed us, how dynamic this area is at the moment. This sector
very
is
positive.
It's extremely positive, and you see, deals happening which are,
on a national level or on a global level?
On a global level. It happens everywhere. It happens also in the emerging countries, and this is a new trend. The companies are sold for, sometimes up more than 3 times the yearly revenue.
Wow. I have just one thing to add. I was reading a study by the International Society of Aesthetic and Plastic Surgeons, which just came out. 15 million cosmetic procedures were performed across the world last year. Does this number seem correct to you?
I think it's correct. It's difficult to check this number and to assess this number. But I think, yeah, it looks like a correct number.
15 million. And again, your research and your data went up to 2017.
Yes.
What's your estimate? What could it go up to?
I think probably in 2017 you would be at between 25 to 30 million procedures.
And with
worldwide.
men included into that number more and more.
Yeah, men are increasing, but the problem is what you're seeing also, there is a dynamic that women are having more and more access to those treatments for various reasons. Another interesting effect that we see is the people above 50 years old who have more and more access to those treatments. And recently I was just watching the data from the American Society of Plastic Surgeons, who showed that the ratio of the plus 50 went up at least plus 10% in the last 6 years.
Went up? 10%.
Went up, yeah.
Wow. And now, the other question I wanted to ask you is your data. Who do you share it with? Who is this available to?
Well, the data is, that's IMCAS decision to whom it should be made available. It is being made available for public relations, for journalists. And we are looking, we've been discussing yesterday with the Tribune if we could, if we could communicate the data which was given by all the speakers. So this is something on which we're going to be working.
Because it truly is invaluable, and I thank you, Laurent, for joining us.
Thank you very
much.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.